why do I need to manage my stress? I'm already paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm working out. I'm making sure I'm working out every day. I wasn't realizing that like the pressure I was putting on myself to have these like perfectly meal prepped foods and the exact workout I needed every single day in order to feel like I'm moving towards my goal. Nobody told me I had to do that. It's just an inner belief. I've always felt like I have to do everything I can to strive for the very best. And all that's done for me is create this life where I'm holding on to everything so tight that any small disaster feels like the end of the world. I learned it in October, the foundation of working on my mindset to understand that things are not just black and white. It's not all or nothing, otherwise known as fixed mindset. That was something I thought wasn't an issue for me. But the way my fixed mindset worked was in this way of like perfectionism. Like I needed to be the best. I didn't want to be embarrassed at what I was bringing to the table. No one cares, but I cared, right? I just, I cared to hold myself to a level that just did not matter to anyone but me. So that's when I learned like the mindset work that's required. And then I learned, yeah, it's just a constant thing that you need to keep working on because just because you overcame that first hurdle doesn't mean you're through it. That's really why I moved my course into a membership instead, because this isn't going to just be completed after watching a set of lessons. It's going to be work that you need to show up for yourself on a regular basis. I want the space there for others like me that realize that it's constant work that we're putting into this. And here's the other thing that really matters, right? We have constant work that we're doing, but the work that we'll never prioritize is ourselves. I know I should take some time for me. I know I should just stop what I'm doing and go to sleep, but I've got all this food to prep for the week and it's just this endless list that we have in our mind. We don't have those priorities in place in a way to keep ourselves in check. And so that's what we do. Inside my membership, literally the first thing I have people do, the answers are there. And then I sat there and put everything else in there. My lessons learned. So you don't have to learn it the hard way. It was hard. I can still look back on videos where I'm just like so upset because at that time, I was sharing just a lot more in my late night stories. Now I spend all that time working on my business before bed, but I had a lot more time to share my day to day thoughts. And I would also spend that time fixating on these frustrations, these stalls, these plateaus are just not losing weight fast enough and seeing everybody else doing so well and wondering why am I not? So we get back down to the basics. And this upcoming month is going to be about that inside my membership. And I'm so excited. We get down to like, how do you really build that resilience? And gosh, could it not come at a better time? Right after my whole situation on the side of the road, after popping my tire. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping the course information on how we actually build that resilience into our life. What we need for GLP-1 for the women that have been through the life that we've been through and that brought us here, always think to myself, what would I want to invest in? What would I think is worth investing in? And that's where I come from with it, because I know the person that needed to hear all the stuff I'm sharing most is me, who I am as a person. So yeah, that's where I come from in this. All right, I'm going to just wrap this up because it's been a really nice long chat of my crisis today and my reminder to myself that the work is never complete, but also, yeah, you do need the answers. I know we went through a lot of lessons today. The idea that like the stall strategy, that workbook, that's been the answers. The video that you get with it is the secret sauce to how to kind of power through. How do you identify what's wrong? Then how do you take what you identify and actually put it into action? Now, I don't give you everything, okay? Because it is just a piece of my whole membership program, but it gives you a lot. And especially if you have any medical provider, that checklist is so powerful that even if your medical provider does not know anything about GLP-1, what I put in there will make that conversation much easier for both of you. Because remember, I have some baseline knowledge that comes into play here. And what I provide is I provide the information that you don't need to be a GLP-1 expert to work through. And there's also like the second section has like the science behind it. So this is not for just anybody. Like you really have to be somebody who loves information and is able to do the work. You get something and you get it done. So if that's the type of person you are, this is so powerful. You go through it, you watch the videos, you get that mindset shift and the knowledge and the baseline that you need. to work through the workbook. You go through the workbook and you just take it one page at a time. Check this, check that, check this. I'm just gonna go through. It's not meant to be too complicated, okay? It's really meant to get you to the answers that you needed. And then the next one after that is like the science. In the checklist, I actually have some suggested ideas. And what I recommend is you take it to your doctor and say, hey, if one of these things happen, like, do these suggestions make sense for me? What would be appropriate for me? And I have a section you could make notes from what your doctor says. This is powerful because it will add the context that you both need to it. And then when you put in the second part of the science behind it, I have like reference the research, the information that's there, why X causes Y. And so if they don't know, you can help them and flip to that section, and that will give them the baseline that they need to move forward. Freaking awesome. But tell them that if they want a copy, they have to buy one. This stall strategy is if you feel like you're on the side of the road and just feel distraught, you just learn what you need to do ahead of time. You learn the steps and you apply it. But please don't just buy it to have it. Don't just buy it to watch when there's a disaster, because it's not that type of thing, okay? You can buy it if you got in a stall and watch it and read it, and you will really improve your journey, which is why I'd say it's not just about stalls. It's just about like actually troubleshooting your whole GLP-1 journey. If you want to know what is making your experience work out the way it is, there's a lot of information in this. I love it. If you're ready to take it to the next level and to like really get a full comprehensive experience, accountability, the mindset that you need, the foundation pieces that you need, the strategy lab, it will be opening soon and you should be inside. If you hung out with me this long, you should be inside. It's amazing. And especially, like I said, if you're a person like me, it's what I needed for someone to sit me down, slow me down, work me through the steps that I need to work through to get this feeling effortless. And so life can be lifing. I have a lot of lifing, but that doesn't stop me from doing the things I need to do. Like I'm sitting here recording and I'm putting together quinoa salad. I cut up the protein. I've got a bunch of egg here. I'll be grilling up some chicken and putting it with that. And it's going to be like an amazing piece that I will have in my fridge no matter what, because I know life is chaotic and I plan that way. And that's also how I teach that way. We create the systems that are actually going to work for you because we shift how we're considering what counts. Okay. Because this random thing I just did, that counts. I don't need to have all steps done. I don't need to have the chicken completed for this to have counted meal prep. And changing that concept is actually like shifting, lowering the threshold and appreciating your wins that much more can really get you in the right direction for your GLP-1 journey. My goal is that in my next round, I'm able to get a lot more women that are motivated to shift their narrative, shift their experience, and feel empowered in this journey. I know you're out there. I know you've been not prioritizing yourself or feeling, I'll figure it out on my own. I get it. Oof, I get it. But your time is also very valuable. I sacrificed a lot of my time to figure all this out because it just did not exist. And it definitely didn't exist by anyone that I trusted enough to do the research in a way that was reliable. But you could have that. Maybe you don't know me yet and you don't know you could trust my research. Check out my blog. I haven't actively posted a lot on there, but you'll quickly realize the way I do my research and what I compile. Inside the membership, it's of course a million times more because you get all parts of the puzzle piece that you need. But anyway, thank you for hanging out. I am so happy you're here. I hope that this chat brought you some shift that you needed to take action today to make a different choice. Because there were so many lessons that I shared in here, but I hope that there's something in here for you. And I would love to hear what it was. Let me know. Drop a comment, send me a message. Let me know. Should I do rambles like this more? Message me if the answer is less. But either way, it was lovely connecting again.